The 47% of white women that voted for Kamala Harris, bring your ass because you can dock it today. And because I already know how you operate, let's get some church announcements out the way. 1, when faced with uncomfortable truths, a true ally will accept the information rather than react to it. 2, if it don't apply, let it the fuck fly. In other words, don't bring your sensitive asses in my comments telling me how your best friend is black and giving me a laundry list of things you've done to help the black community. This is me preemptively telling you I don't give a fuck. 3rd, as far as my content is concerned, the feelings of white people, particularly white women, would never be centered nor considered. So if you're white and you follow me and what I'm about to say offends you, there's no need to announce your disappointment nor your departure. You can simply get them out. Now let's get down to business. 47% are particularly the ones that go above and beyond to tell black people, but black women in particular, that you're a part of the 47%. It's not that you do it because of your love, support, and solidarity of black women. It's about your image. Because you need to be on record as being part of the 47%, so you're not perceived to be a part of the 53% because it's MAGA. Because for whatever reason, you seem to think that you're better white women than they are, and newsflash, you aren't. Now, while you may not subscribe to and or believe in their racist beliefs and ideologies, as white women on a daily basis, you still benefit and profit from said racist beliefs and ideologies, nothing less. Another thing is that it's not lost on me, and it's definitely not lost on white women. No generation of white people, especially white women, have ended white supremacy. Now, the only thing to do to end white supremacy in this country is to dismantle it and relinquish your white privilege. 2 things that are a bridge too far for you, especially the last, which is why you'll change the name of a school, you'll change the name of a sports team, you'll take down statues, you'll volunteer in the very neighborhoods that you're gentrifying and pushing my people out of just to assuage your white guilt. You will do everything but give up that white privilege. White people are inherently mediocre. You just have to work not to be. And that's a topic for another time, but trust and believe I will be fuck that.
Hello good people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Awakened Africa and I'm your host Bemu. So have you ever asked yourself, why is it that the white people have a constant fear towards the black people? Why do you think that they always want to keep everything to themselves? Why do you always think that white people are viewed as objects, as black people, as objects to be used? Why do you think that they always keep on stealing ideas from us? Why do you think that white people, especially white women, fear the success of white women or of black women? And why do you think that right now, just after the voting, white women think that Kamala, because 47% of them, of course, voted for Kamala Harris. So why do you think that they think that Kamala owes them something? Well, if you want these questions to get answers, then you need to stick to this video to the very end. Now, before I give you time to watch the video, kindly guys, take me to 1,000 subscribers. Please don't forget to like, don't forget to leave a comment, don't forget to share and hit the notifications button. Turn it on so that every time I post a new video, you'll be the first person to get notified about it. And right about now, I want you to watch this video to the very end with me, right? So that at the end, I will come back with my commentary to finish up. Now guys, let's get straight into it.
Bring your ass because you can dock it today. And because I already know how you operate, let's get some church announcements out the way. 1, when faced with uncomfortable truths, a true ally will accept the information rather than react to it. 2, if it don't apply, let it the fuck fly. In other words, don't bring your sensitive asses in my comments telling me how your best friend is black and giving me a laundry list of things you've done to help the black community. This is me preemptively telling you I don't give a fuck. Third, as far as my content is concerned, the feelings of white people, particularly white women, would never be centered nor considered. So if you're white and you follow me and what I'm about to say offends you, there's no need to announce your disappointment nor your departure. You can simply get them out. Now let's get down to business. 47% are particularly the ones that go above and beyond to tell black people, but black women in particular, that you're a part of the 47%. It's not that you do it because of your love, support, and solidarity of black women. It's about your image. Because you need to be on record as being part of the 47%, so you're not perceived to be a part of the 53% because it's MAGA. Because for whatever reason, you seem to think that you're better white women than they are, and newsflash, you aren't. Now, while you may not subscribe to and or believe in their racist beliefs and ideologies, as white women on a daily basis, you still benefit and profit from said racist beliefs and ideologies, nothing less. Another thing is that it's not lost on me, and it's definitely not lost on white women. No generation of white people, especially white women, have ended white supremacy. Now, the only thing to do to end white supremacy in this country is to dismantle it and relinquish your white privilege. Two things that are a bridge too far for you, especially the last, which is why you'll change the name of a school, you'll change the name of a sports team, you'll take down statues, you'll volunteer in the very neighborhoods that you're gentrifying and pushing my people out of just to assuage your white guilt. You will do everything but give up that white privilege. White people are inherently mediocre. You just have to work not to be. And that's a topic for another time, but trust and believe I will be circling back. And it is because of your white mediocrity, which is why you require so much of black women that you'll never require of yourself, because you bitches can't deliver. White women are the only people on the face of this earth that will betray you and then demand that you make them feel better about doing it. You don't have to tell me I'm wrong, because I already know I'm right.
Sister is preaching, and whatever she's saying is absolutely right. It's true that 47% of the white women who voted for Kamala Harris, they did it because they didn't want to look like they were traitors. Sometimes they want to look like they're helping black people, but in real sense, they are not doing it out of good faith, but they are doing it so that they can be seen that, right? I have done something. I have helped a black woman. They're just doing it to seek validation, and that's the whole point.
Because you do it all the time.
Preach,
and it's because of your white mediocrity that you don't mind being supported by black women. You want to be supported and defended by black women, but you don't want to be led by black women. Because in order for you to be led by black women, you have to, one, acknowledge your shortcomings, and two, forego being the center of attention.
Very right. Very much correct. They don't want to be led by black women, but they want to be supported by black women. Where's the lie? We've seen this. I hope everyone has seen this all over. These people, the white women, always want to be supported by black women. But when it comes to be led by the same black women they want support from, that's where they draw a very thick line, right? Sister, preach.
And considering the fact that you was born with main character syndrome, that's a hoes can't fuck it. But what really bothers me is you white bitches that are all about, where's Kamala? I mean, we need her. She should be working. So you want a black woman to do a job that you didn't elect her for. Because see, what you want is you want your individual vote counted, but you don't want the collective one to be counted. And it's the collective vote that making decisions. And as a collective, you once again voted for your whiteness. Because one thing about you white women, you talk the talk. But when it's time to walk the walk, you walk your ass right on over there to whites only. And this election is no different. And you don't want your ashy and crusty ass heels to be held to the fire about that shit. You want to act like it didn't exist. And what pisses me off is that when Hillary Clinton lost, you on a pink hat, you did your little farts, you went to Starbucks and you called the day. You let that white lady lose in peace. You let her go take a break, go out on the lecture circuit, make money, and go mind her business. But the black woman, you want her to do the job and fire her to do. You should have thought about that shit when you was voting for the trickle-down patriarchy. Because you're going to learn that the patriarchy was designed by white men for the sole benefit of white men. They view you as still being their property, just like you still view black women as being fuckers, and we're not. Kamala Harris don't owe you shit. Black women don't owe you shit. But you us everything. And when I say everything, I'm talking everything. Because not only have we protected you, but we've raised you. And in some cases, you were sucking on our ancestors' tit because your mothers couldn't be bothered enough to do it themselves. They went from wanting to porch drinking iced tea to just being drunk and popping pills because they hate their lives. Black women raised you. Black women saved you.
And that's very true. By the way, there is a certain video I did. When you go to my playlist and on the Black History playlist, you'll find a video that talks about racism, how racism was bad back in the days. And one form of racism that really pissed me off is white women could not breastfeed their own kids. They didn't want that, so they will ask black women to breastfeed their kids because they thought that white women had this perception that when you breastfeed your kid, you become a slave to that kid. So sister is very much correct. White women, white women owe black women everything because they raised they raised white kids. So yeah.
But that shit is done. You running an open tab since 1619 and you long bad bitch to settle the Kamala Harris owes you nothing. You should have thought about what you needed when you was in the voting booth. You made your choice as a collective, and it was to uphold white supremacy and keep your privilege. Own up to it. And just as a reminder, this is my platform. I say what the and I mean what I say. Case closed and court adjourned. You should remember that before you step your ass in the fucking comment section.
Case closed. The case is not closed. The court is adjourned, but the case is never closed.
Have the day you deserve. White women, I know you hate to see my black ass coming, but the bitch is back. You already know what time it is. All rise. Court is now in session. Quick PSA before we get started.
Man, I just love this lady. I just love this lady. All rise. Court is in session. The case is not closed, but the court is adjourned. Man, I just love this lady, man. Preach, sister.
A hit dog will always holler.
Hit them white women hard.
Call your local veterinarian. Now let's get to open arguments. Everything that's going on in this country right now, especially with regard to this current administration, is the direct result of white women's laziness, cowardice, and incompetence. Or as the French would call you, les incompetents. Bonus points if you get that reference. As white women, you have a direct connect to white men, which means that you have been and you still are in the very rooms where conversations are had, plans are hatched, and decisions are made, and yet you do nothing. As far as the trickle-down patriarchy is concerned, your only perk is your white privilege, and you are so desperate to hang on to it that you stay silent. And instead, you choose to ride the coattails of the very white men that's taking away your rights and are actively working to take away your freedom. And yet and still, you manage to possess in caucasity, to walk around like you Mary Magdalene. Meanwhile, you just gave white men the keys to the very kingdom that they've been building this whole time in front of your face. White women are not rooted in reality nor realness. You're rooted in perception, which aptly explains why you're so selfish, self-centered, and self-serving. And it is because you are rooted in perception that you don't like confrontation and you don't like being called out. Because upon doing so, the fallacy that you've created for yourself is immediately destroyed. And so your immediate knee-jerk reaction is to pull out the white women tears or the unity card, or sometimes it's a combination of both. You seem to be under this impression that this is the time for black women and white women to stand together as one and unite. So my question to you is, as it pertains to said unity, which black women would you like to unite with? Is it the black women such as myself that you're so quick to call loud, aggressive, and ghetto whenever we assert ourselves with you? Or we say or do something that you don't like or understand, even though it wasn't meant for you in the first place?
Wow.
Is it the black women that you call welfare queens, knowing full well that the largest recipients of government assistance are white? Is it the black women that you report to HR because we don't say good morning to you? Or smile on command to appease you? Or tell you what we do on our weekends off because that's our personal business and you're not entitled to that information? Is it the black women that work in retail and customer service that you not only berate, but falsely report to management and corporate because you don't get the refund, discount, or level of service you demanded, oftentimes resulting in us losing our livelihoods? Is it the black women, the overqualified black women in corporate America that you consistently lie on, sabotage, and steal promotions from because you know your mediocrity would not get you the position otherwise? Is it the same black women that you treat condescendingly the moment you don't get the immediate praise and gratitude you seem to think you're entitled to?
I think that there's a inbred hate by the white women towards the black women, right? Because as you've heard from this speaker, sister here, she's saying the most obvious things that are happening in the US society right now. Because a white woman can just choose to hate you out of nowhere because it is inbuilt. Their hate is inbuilt. These people have been raised like that. They have been raised to hate on black people.
Is it the black women whose style and aesthetic you carbon copy only to repackage and rebrand it as something you invented? Is it the black women whose content and creativity you steal verse from and profit millions of dollars off of it? All the while refusing to both credit and compensate the very black women you stole from. Are those the black women that you would like to unite and stand as one with you? As far as divisiveness is concerned, you hypocritical assholes are the common denominator, and you always have been. White women are the creators of exclusivity, and by extension, division. For centuries, up until present day, white women continue to orchestrate the plot and then immediately pretend to not understand the plight. You are not the victims you're desperate to be. You're the perpetrators. This case is not closed, but court is adjourned. Have the fight you deserve.
I really like whatever she's saying. Yeah? I really like whatever she's saying because I think it's time black women, they discover or they see that white, and I really like this awakening, this enlightenment that they have started to see, and I'd like more of our community of the black people to see that white women have never wanted good things for our women, our black women. So guys, open your eyes. Case is not closed, but the court is adjourned. Let's go to the speaker.
The reason white people get so upset when black people are celebrated is because they believe we only exist to serve them or entertain them.
All right? That is the perception that white people were fed as early as in their mother's stomach, right? Or in their mother's wombs, whatever you say. But I think their hate and their negative, like they have a prejudice towards black people, which is natural, which comes natural because they think that their ancestors, they took us away from our ancestral lands in Africa. They brought us to the United States, but they forget to know that we can also thrive on our own. We can do things to please ourselves. Not everything is centered on us black people to do anything just to serve them or entertain them white people. Sister, kindly preach.
If we do something within our own community for us that doesn't replicate some form of servitude or involve them at all, they feel left out. In their minds, our only purpose is to exist to serve them in some way. They believe that we should inherently sacrifice our bodies for them and do not see us as human with our own autonomy, our own ideologies, interests, capabilities. This is why Trump brought up the fact that immigrants were taking black jobs. He and a lot of other white people believe that black people only exist in America to serve.
Yo, that's true. And that is what Trump used to campaign. And when you see, if you saw black people voting for Trump, it means that they fall into his lies that the immigrants were stealing black people's jobs. And why do you think that? Because the jobs that these immigrants do, either construction, in the farming sector, or working the restaurants, menial jobs. So they think in these menial jobs, of course, you're just serving. So if you work in a restaurant, or maybe if you work in a construction company, they think that black people were made to serve them. Trump doesn't believe in a black man's leadership or in a black person's leadership.
He doesn't believe that we should be in any leadership positions or any job that serves our own interests or community. The only reason so many people were upset about the halftime show is because it had a much deeper meaning, and that meaning they could not understand. They realized that the entertainment that they think belongs to them was not for them. They think that all entertainment should be accessible to them and about them. They can't fathom how we can do anything other than be a black body for their enjoyment. This is why they always tell athletes who use their platforms to speak about injustice that they need to just stick to football. We don't want to hear your opinion because they don't value us. They don't see us as human. That is their way of attempting to put us in our place. Do what we want you to do. Entertain us. Use your body to play the sport that you're good at and win me some damn money. Don't even get me started on the way the NFL draft mimics the slave trade. White people know how talented and capable we are. They know how close-knit of a community we have. They know that we don't need them to thrive, but they need us to thrive. If we didn't exist, they wouldn't have anywhere to steal their ideas from.
That's very true, by the way. That's very true. White people, if we never existed, we as the black people, then they would never have anywhere else to go and steal the ideas from. If you know history, go and dig deep in history, or if you want to know more about it. Africa was highly civilized. We had a high-end form of civilization. But what did they do? They came here, and if you don't believe me, there are some brands that I'm not going to mention, but popular clothing brands. When you look at their symbols, they directly stole them from either South Africa, West Africa, or North Africa, right? When you check some of these, of course, they are white scholars. Most of these old white scholars, they got their education from Africa. So it is true to say that if black people never existed, then the white people would have nowhere else to steal the ideas from. Sister, kindly preach.
And they wouldn't be able to keep up with the constant demands of life. They expect everyone else to do it for them. A lot of white people only want us if they can profit off of us in some way. Anything that the black community initiates for ourselves offends them because this idea of white ownership is not at the core of what we do. They hate that even though we have to work 10 times as hard as them to get in some of the same positions of power and influence, we always do the job better than them every single time.
Right, my good people. So thank you for watching this video. If you've reached this very end, then I must commend you, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I would like to know what's your take about these two speakers who are talking about the issue to do with black women and white women, and the black people and the white people. What's your take on it? Let us have a conversation in the comments. And of course, if you're new to this channel, I'll ask you most definitely to subscribe. Guys, kindly take me to 1,000 subscribers. Then don't forget to like, don't forget to leave a comment, share with your brothers and sisters this message, that we can all get awakened and all get enlightened, since this is Awakened Africa, right? Then lastly, guys, Don't forget to turn on post notifications that every time I post a new video, you'll be the first one to get to watch it. This is Awaken Africa. This is your home. Let us be a community. Let us be brothers and sisters. My name is Ben. Peace out.